Yeah, as you guys can tell, I've gotten a bit of an upgrade here on some of the new setups for the vlog, so special thanks to a few people who gave me these. So, there's that. Oh, stay there, Keeling, right there. Oh, fuck, you're falling down. Oh, this is gonna take forever. Okay, well, you gonna sit there? Perfect, alright. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome back to the InuYasha vlogs. And I've been looking forward to talk about this two-parter because it really sets up, a massive character development between four, actually. And it essentially is probably my favorite episode of Season 2, because it just deals with so much great storylines and everything. And that, of course, being, I can't remember what the arc is, but this is essentially a love triangle arc. It's a two-parter, and it basically picks up where we left off last time with those two pointless incarnations of Naraku, and everybody's kind of down the dumps, everybody's pretty beat up. Kagome's going back home just to chill for a little bit, and InuYasha's still resting, and among other things, they got into a bit of a heated debate, and they don't want to essentially see each other. But one of them wants to make amends with another. So, as Kagome goes back to get antibiotics and everything and then head back home, we then cut back to Kikyo, who, for some reason, I guess her job in the feudal era, if you call it employment, is healing people. She seems to have that a lot in this season, which is kind of weird, but it turns out Naraku has been spying on her, for some devilish reasons, you could say. But then, of course, a demon attacks Kikyo, and she takes off. She falls off a cliff again. God, what is this? This is probably going to be this is a recurring thing in the series. You know, you start to, you heard of the InuYasha drinking game where, take a shot whenever they say their names and this and that. Now take a shot whenever Kikyo falls off a cliff or when she's, like, doing employment healing people. It's just, it is kind of sporadic because you feel like you're just watching the same episode over and over again. It doesn't help that, occasionally the show does have reusable animation. So, she's essentially injured by this giant red soul collector that chases after her that was sent by Naraku to steal her soul. She's injured, retreats to InuYasha, surprisingly just kind of out of the blue, and InuYasha saves her, kills the demon, and they get some alone time together. Not in that way, because this is a PG-13, so, but I'll get to that in a sec. So, basically, Kagome comes back that night and sees the two together, and is pretty heartbroken about it because, she really cares about InuYasha, yet he's still pining for Kikyo, and we get a bit of development between these two, because InuYasha just straight up says, hey, I'm not such a bad guy, it's been 50 years, you want to fuck? And she's like, what? Like, not literally like that, but that's just the long and short of it, It's a very, very, sexually explicit episode, or a lot of innuendos in this one. It's a very steamy episode. So, basically, Kikyo laughs at him at his advances, and like, hey, what's so funny? And she's like, you're exactly like Naraku, and you're like, wait, what do you mean by that? Because they're essentially not the same. You have a villain and hero arc, and yeah, both of them are half-demons, so we already know this, Kikyo. But then she's like, no, because Onigumo, the bandit's heart still beats in Naraku and wishes to desire me, and you're just like, oh shit, that's why Naraku can't kill her, because part of Onigumo is still in love with her. He wants her. And you're just like, oh, shit. Now it's getting pretty personal for InuYasha, because he's just like, this motherfucker framed me, tried to kill her once, takes the jewel, all that horse shit, fucks with all my friends, now you want to bang my bitch. Okay, Naraku, you're fucking done. So, he's pretty pissed off about this, because this is essentially thinking about hentai at this point, which don't Google it. Although for you guys it's probably too late, but anyway, at that point, InuYasha gets pretty clingy and just grabs Kikyo and says, no, I'm gonna protect you, you're my girl, I got your back, and then obviously Kikyo's like, thinking, InuYasha, you're being an idiot. You should think about the task first, we're probably both gonna die in this war, but we should die together if anything, and I think InuYasha's trying to accept that. So she takes off, again, And InuYasha turns and sees Kagome, and who looks pretty heartbroken, and just runs off. And by the way, these 2 episodes gave birth to so many AMVs back in the early 2000s, during the early primitive days of YouTube, like the first few years. There are some great AMVs, by the way, which I will probably put a couple down below, which are pretty decent. So, but yeah, this arc gave birth to 2, I think. And to me, it's funny, because, like, I think this 2-parter also gave birth, essentially, to the more, you know, eroticisms and sort of the, you know, whatchamacallit, you know, just the more romantic side to the show, which, yes, it's been kind of cutesy-wootsy, but it's never been, you know, exactly romantic in terms of intimacy and stuff, but you see a lot of that in this 2-parter. So part 2, Kagome takes off and stays at her place and just stays there and just really is depressed. She's really sad. You know, like, she's had her heart broken, and she realizes, wow, I'm in love with this guy, and I can't be with him because he's already committed to this girl. And InuYasha's the same, you know, he's like, I care about Kagome, she makes me feel happy, she's a great girl, but I'm already committed to this one woman who I told I would die with, so the complications are just very intense for both of them, which I really like in this episode. The arcs between the 2 are absolutely fantastic. Sorry, I'm just fixing my beads. Yeah, I finally got the beads of subjugation, guys. I finally got them. I'll explain that in a future video. So, you know, these 2 are very complicated in terms of what they want and what their desires are, and you get that dynamic, which is fantastic. And then it essentially ends with a beautiful ending, by the way, where Kagome comes back, is sitting by the well, she turns her head and tells InuYasha, I can't compete with Kikyo, but I'll still stick with you. You know, be kind of the backup girl. So, I think they kind of settled the differences. Well, you know what happens at the end, but at the same time, it's like, it's a great, deep character study between these 2, and you can really feel the tensions in terms of their relationship and their love for one another. And it's honestly really sweet, really good chemistry here. So, bottom line, I fucking love this arc. It's one of my personal favorite episodes of the series. It's just a great storyline, and it's funny because people think, oh, you like InuYasha for the action and the swearing and the violence and the No, I like it for its story because it is the Lord of the Rings of anime, as I've said before. But surprisingly enough, you would be surprised, I like a good love story, and this is one of the best ones. You know, this is up there with so many, you know, I mean, I'm a fan of romance stories once in a while. I like my fair share. I love Romeo and Juliet. Like, Shakespeare's play is absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed the tragic ones, of course. But I do enjoy my fair share of love stories. You know, like, even Attack of the Clones, given the bland dialogue, like, it still kind of worked for me. Even, you know, Aragorn and Arwen and Lord of the Rings. There's a lot of good, romance stories out there that are actually pretty decent. Casablanca even has a good one. So, essentially, yeah, this episode's pretty damn good. It's got a lot of chemistry towards it. And one thing I will point out about this one, the animation is fucking gorgeous. Like, it is fantastic. Some of the best in the series I've seen. Like, the shades of color and the way things are presented in this one are spectacular. The glows, the vibrant colors. Whoever animated this should get a fucking Emmy, because they did so well animating this episode. Like, that's why I think it's also one of my favorites. It's not like the fuck-up of the last few, where somebody fucked up the noses and everything, and it just looked like shit. But this one, they nailed it out of the park. Although, to be fair, I think there were 2 different animation directors on both parts. One for part 1, one for part 2, because you do notice a shift. If you watch these back-to-back, you'll notice a bit of a change in animation style, because, like, the first part was a lot more, felt more realistic and everything, and, like, the colors were very shaded and very, you know, the character models were a lot more kind of in a thin position. But then you go to the second part, and everything's back to sort of the chibi manga-looking areas of the, of part 2. So it does have that dynamic to it, but man, and I can see why so many people made AMVs of this, is because the animation is so good and so gorgeous, some of the best in the show's history, and we're only in the end of Season 2, and they really took their time on this one. They put effort, they put their time in, the script, the writing, everything. Even the English dub, the actors did a fantastic job. Well, funny enough, I did watch the Japanese version, and it does feel a little bit more emotional in places because there's some areas where there's no music, so you feel a bit more of the weight of these characters. But at the same time, yeah, like, there's some great character dynamics in this, and I would recommend it for anybody interested in the show to get kind of the central love story in, kind of in between. So I really enjoyed this one. I would say definitely check it out. It's one of my favorite episodes of the series. A solid 10 out of 10. And it's just overall just a fantastic arc. I can never get enough of it. And it is pretty intimate as well, too. So take it for what it is. 10 out of 10. One of the, probably the best arc in the series, in Season 2, and one of the best arcs in general. So that's it for this InuYasha vlog, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to support the channel, link down below to our Patreon. Just $1 more will get you early access to all of our content, as well as other special features, as well as all the finances going towards a potential InuYasha fan film. A few things I want to point out, too, is that we're actually going to be doing a bunch of vlogs all at once. We're actually recording all these all at once. We're going to try to get all the entire rest of Season 2 done, because if you see the environment that's around me, which you can't, we are currently moving out to a new apartment, a new studio, so I'm going to try to wrap up Season 2 just today filming and, you know, get them all done. So if the backgrounds look the same, it's because I just don't have time to set up everything, but yeah, I just figured I'd let you guys out there. We're at the very peak end of Season 2. In fact, on the DVD, I'm on the 3rd disc, so yeah, I got these at Zeller's, but we're getting close to the end of Season 2, and then we'll play it by ear what happens next. So, of course, guys, I want to know your thoughts on this arc. Let me know in the comment section below, and until the next video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off saying, if you love 2 people, or 2 women, and you don't want to commit to a relationship, just have a 3-way. Later.